morning. Welcome to News at Night for Thursday, February the 11th. I'm Colette Linden.
I'm Craig Huckerby. We have another cold night tonight, and we have some snow tomorrow. And we're also going to take a look at how we're comparing to last year. All that's coming up.
Today, the Education Minister Stephen Lecce made a decision as to whether or not the province will take a week off for the March break.
Now, to support our collective fight against COVID-19 and on the best advice made to us from medical experts, Ontario is postponing March break until the week of April 12th. This decision was made on that advice from public health officials, including the province's Chief Medical Officer of Health and many local medical officers of health as well. At this time, it is critical that we continue to prioritize the health and safety of students, staff, and their families so that we can continue with the safe return to in-person learning. Postponing March break, not canceling it, is an important way that schools can help to limit community transmission. We recognize that congregation is a key driver of the spread of COVID-19, something we realized over the winter break, and we will not take that risk again with your child, with our staff, with Ontario families. The decision is all more important as we move to protect our communities from the emerging variants of this disease. I recognize that this is one more change in a year that has been challenging for so many students and our education staff who continue to work so hard. But it is one made on the best advice of public health officials to keep them safe and to keep our schools open in this province. It is of the utmost importance that we do not travel at this time, especially as we lead into the month of March. This postponement also limits any further disruption to students as they could return to in-person learning during a time that has been challenging. As Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health has said, our schools have remained safe for kids, and this move is intended to keep them that way.
A recent attempt to attack a water system in Florida was defeated. The FBI and Secret Service are now investigating how the cyber attack happened in the first place. Sioux Online's Dan Gray reached out to the Sault Ste. Marie PUC's communications manager, Jairus Patterson, to ask how well secured we are in the Sioux to such an attack. Please go to SiouxOnline.com for that complete story. Reclaiming Shingwauk Hall embodies years of collaboration with the Children of Shingwauk Alumni Association, residential school survivors, and local First Nation communities. Superior Media spoke with Krista McCracken, researcher and curator, Arthur A. Wishart Library and Shingwauk Residential School Center at Algoma University, to speak about the importance of continuing the build to archival collection at Shingwauk Hall. Please go to SiouxOnline.com for the complete story. The Ontario government is launching new and improved Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation programs. This will help increase economic development and promote job creation in the North. The 4 new programs will target existing and emerging markets, support more projects in small rural communities, address the skilled labor shortage, and make it easier for more people and businesses to apply. The projects are called the Community Enhancement Program, the Cultural Supports Program, the Invest North Program, and the People and Talent Program. Please go to SiouxOnline.com for all the details. On February the 11th, officers with patrol services charged 38-year-old Chantal Villiers with impaired driving due to alcohol and drugs. At 12:04 a.m., officers responded to a call of an erratic driver in the area of Black Road. Officers located the vehicle and conducted a traffic stop. Upon approaching the vehicle, officers observed that the accused in the driver's seat and developed grounds to believe her ability to operate a vehicle was impaired by alcohol. She was arrested and later provided 2 breath samples into an approved device, registering 2 failed results. She is charged with impaired driving due to alcohol and drugs and impaired driving blood alcohol concentration at 0.8+. She is scheduled to appear in court on March the 22nd. If the heavy amount of snow caused by extensive snow squalls earlier this week wasn't enough, now we have to deal with extreme cold temperatures. The bitterly cold Arctic air that has put most of the western provinces and northwestern parts of Ontario in a big chill is now moving into northeastern Ontario. Environment Canada has issued an extreme cold warning for parts of the Superior East region. At present, the city of Sault Ste. Marie is not included in the extreme cold. However, the Sioux will still experience frigid temperatures until late next week.
Hi again, everyone. Well, we made out pretty nice today with lots of sun in the forecast. We even exceeded the daytime high and reached -9 today. We're going to have a cold night tonight. We have some cloud moving in, and we also have a look at how we're doing compared to last year. We'll take a look at that for you right after this.
The COVID-19 pandemic in Canada is serious. We must continue to practice all public health measures, follow local guidelines for gatherings, maintain physical distancing, Wash your hands, wear a mask, and download the COVID Alert app. If you have symptoms, even mild ones, stay home. Protect yourself and others. We've come too far to stop now.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Hi, Mike Holmes here with some advice that could save your life. I'm talking about radon. It's the #2 cause of lung cancer in Canada. Radon is radioactive gas that comes from the ground. You can't see or smell it, but almost every home has it. The question is, how much? Protect your family. Get your home tested. It's easy. And if you have high levels, a certified radon professional can reduce it for a reasonable cost. Make it right. Find out more at takeactiononradon.ca.
Again, everyone, well, let's take a look at what we're looking like for tonight. You're going to need a hat if you're going out. Temperatures are going to fall to -22 later on tonight. It's going to feel like -30 with a little bit of wind out there. If you happen to be out at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, it's going to feel cold, risk of frostbite. So let's take a look now at the temperatures elsewhere. You can see we're all in the -20s. Except for Timmins, -35. They're in the extreme cold. Wawa, the extreme cold, -27. This is without wind chill, by the way. -22 here in the Sault, -28 in Sudbury. And actually, Thunder Bay's warming up to -26. They were around -35, if you remember, the last couple nights. This is the extreme cold warning issued by Environment Canada. We're not in it. Sault Ste. Marie is not in it, but Superior East is, and so is White River. They're all under that very cold wave of air, and it's not coming here. We're protected actually by Lake Superior because of that. But we'll take a look now at the satellite, and we'll show you what's coming for the next couple of days. We have this system here that will travel right around the U.S., the middle of the U.S., and then up again. It's going to fall apart. We may see some cloud and definitely some light flurries from this starting tomorrow and into, it's just going to kind of sit around the Sault all weekend, where we could see cloud and we could see some flurries, but nothing substantial at this point. So this is the systems that we're talking about for Friday, and this is, it's just kind of throwing some energy this way, and as it comes through, it's just going to fall apart, but we're going to see a little bit of cloud, we're going to see a little bit of flurry activity. This high pressure system still well in place, and it's kind of drying that system out, but we're still going to be cold. So this is the what we compare to last year and a couple of years ago. So far this year, we're at 128.7 centimeters. That's what's fallen. That's not what's on the ground anymore. We have about 40 centimeters on the ground. That's what's fallen. Last year, we had 280.1 centimeters. Very snowy last year, if you remember. But if you remember 2013, 2014, when we hit 623 centimeters of snow, that was a very, very snowy year. We may add to this total. We have another 10 centimeters coming right now that looks like we're watching for the next couple of weeks, but we're not going to hit anywhere close to where we should be. So let's take a look at your 3-day forecast, starting with tomorrow. A mix of sun and cloud. We're going to see those flurries work in late in the day. Temperatures still kind of cold at -12, -13 for Saturday. And again, those flurries and cloud, it's going to be mostly cloudy with those odd chances of flurries here and there. But temperatures dipping, as you can see, -16 for Sunday. So Sunday is going to be the coldest day that we've had so far this year. And if you look at the 7-day, again, we're going to see a mix of sun and cloud, a little bit of activity coming in for Tuesday at -11. But look at the temperatures, -8 and -7 at the end of next week. And we even get warmer towards next weekend. So something to look forward to. That's your weather right now. Jacob and Colette are back with sports right after this.
morning. Welcome to the sports section with Jacob and Colette. How are you?
Doing good. We're almost to the end of the week.
We are. Baby Friday today, Big Friday tomorrow.
Oh, look at the little Friday.
Look at the little baby Friday. We've got so much to talk about, and I know you know what we want to talk about, but we're not going to start in the N. We're going to start in the O.
This is interesting news coming from the Ontario Hockey League.
Yeah.
So as Dan Gray reported from Go See Online, found out that there's been rumors about a possible 24-game season with 4 city hubs.
Yes.
Now, the OHL commissioner says that they haven't came up with a full plan yet, but they'll be working together with the teams and health organizations to try to find a safe way to do this.
Yes. And I know that there's been some social media frenzy over this about just from fans here in the Sault, wondering what is the point if we start between April 2nd and the 4th to get our Greyhounds back on the ice and the O back up. But I mean, there is some validation to that because we got to highlight our players in the O to get to the end, right?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, these players need a chance to play, so they can try to make their bid to make it into the NHL.
Absolutely, it's their time.
I'm thinking for the hub cities, they're going to split this into 4 different regions. So I'm guessing London,
That's probably
Sudbury or Sault Ste. Marie, Kingston, and or Hamilton or Barrie.
okay. Well, Hamilton and Barrie are our hometown, and the Sault's our current hometown. So let's hope.
Reason why I'm saying these cities, all of them are kind of in a pocket of a group of teams. So I think that would work the best. And another reason why I'm avoiding the GTA is I don't know if they're going to want to risk in the GTA and also just the cost of the GTA versus these other cities.
Yeah, for sure. I know that GTA just opened up their restaurants for the NHL players now when they're in Toronto or in these cities that they can access in dining restaurants. Perhaps, with this, everything's opening back up next week.
But the interesting with that is the NHL says the teams in Canada cannot do indoor dining.
Oh. So
even though the government says they can.
Okay. Well, perhaps the feds should work with the provs to help the municipalities. But that's another story for another day. How about do you have anything else on the OHL you'd like to talk about?
The only thing I want to say is that the one other note that I thought of are the USA teams.
Okay.
I think that might be a bit of a tricky one. I think those teams are going to have to come to Ontario and stay here.
Okay.
As I don't see us going, they're not letting the NHL cross the border. There's no way in whatever they're going to let the OHL do it.
They're not going to do it for the NHL. They're not going to do so. Okay, I can't hold it in anymore. Jacob, I have a question for you. What did I say yesterday on Wednesday, February the 10th, about the game in the evening against the Leafs against that Montreal team? That's okay. We have it right here. I'm going 4-2 Leafs.
I'm saying 2-1 Leafs.
Okay.
I think it's going to be really low scoring. I think both goalies are going to play really strong.
All right, but that fourth goal, just so you know, will be an open netter because Montreal's going to try and win. Anyways.
Well, you were right. You called it right to the T, 4-2 Toronto.
With the overtime, with the fourth goal as a
empty netter.
And the crowd goes
You win
wild.
this round.
I do.
You win
I
this
do.
round. I'll buy you a coffee, but before January 3rd, 2024.
That's fine. You always get me coffee. Okay, let's analyze this game.
So, the reason why the Leafs won this game, we go back to yesterday as well with their keys to victory. They did have a lot of smart plays coming in and out of their zone. They didn't necessarily start on time, but they didn't start too late. They got like 10 minutes late to class versus an hour.
They still showed up for class.
The biggest thing for me was depth scoring.
Okay.
Travis Dermott gets his first goal of the season on a nice dominating shift. A minute and 45 seconds in the offensive zone straight. Montreal just couldn't get a line change. Dermott gets a sweet goal on a goal I think Price would like to have back, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
Mikheyev as well getting his first goal of the season, which I love seeing the depth scoring from Toronto. Matthews didn't get a goal. He got an assist, so his point streak's still alive at 11 games.
Yep.
But goal streak's over. It was nice to see. And Justin Hall, his first goal of the season as well.
It's great to see all these first goals, though.
It is. I love it with Toronto. This game it wasn't the big boys getting the job done, which is really what they needed. And they had, I would say, strong goaltending. Anderson was shaky at times.
Yeah.
Looked like he was fighting the puck a lot this game. I'm saying that as Sportsnet named him first star of the game. But the way I looked at it, both goals he let in, he was a bit out of position. I'm wondering if he's just maybe overtired because, they're just refusing to play Hutchinson. They're just pretending that they don't have another goalie.
Yeah.
Which I completely disagree with that. I get Hutchinson's not Anderson or Campbell, but Anderson, you're going to burn him out for what? Just, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about the Habs? What do you think their performance was?
Well, the Habs did some things right. They did shut down Matthews and Marner.
That's what they had to do. You said that yesterday.
They had to do that. And they were playing hard.
Yeah.
Except Toronto's speed was, I feel, working against Montreal's forecheck.
Yeah.
They scored first. But it was a weird one. Price made some brilliant saves, but again,
awesome.
I think he would like a couple of those goals back.
Oh, I'm sure he wants 2 of them back for sure.
I think the one by Justin Hall
Yeah.
and the one by Travis Dermott. I thought Mikheyev was a nice goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the empty netter, he should have been on the ice. Come on, Price. No, I'm just kidding. But
I called that. We just want to talk
you
about
did.
that. Okay,
You
sorry.
did. You called it.
Just highlighting that. Okay. All right.
Don't let her confidence get too high, okay?
Red Wings versus the Preds. Who'd they play last night? Or the Panthers?
They played the Panthers last night. I think the Red Wings, they need to be happy with the way they played against the Panthers in their little mini series. They split the mini series. The first game they won 4-1.
Yeah.
Second one they lost 2-1.
Yeah.
I think they got to be happy with that if you're a Red Wings fan, because we all know sort of like, I won't mention the name because she'll get very upset, but the Wings are another rebuilding team. So I feel for the Wings, even if they're losing, they just need to be playing well. And if they're playing well, I think they need to be happy.
Okay. All right. Well, my son's a Detroit Red Wings fan, but as you know, the other son and myself are the Leafs fans, so we won't have that matchup this year.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's okay. All right, let's switch over to the courts.
Raptors had a big win, 137 to 115.
Okay.
Norman Powell, this guy was on fire. Like, someone get the fire extinguisher. 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. I like to call him starter Powell or playoff Powell. He was dialed in.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's something the Raptors need.
Yeah, I
Because
can
you know
watch
what? They don't have that star power that they did during that playoff run, but they still have a lot of depth in their lineup. And it wasn't just Powell who played a great game. Pascal Siakam with 26 points.
Yeah,
Van Fleet with a respectable 14 points, and Lowry with 21 points.
hey, there's your Lowry.
But I like seeing of that, you're starting 5, 4 of them were in double digits. And I think that's huge for Toronto, because with still OG Anunoby being out with an injury, you need guys like Powell and Van Vliet and Lowry and Siakam to pick up the slack.
Yeah, to have him out, it hurts the lineup for sure.
It does, because you know what? He's such a strong two-way player.
Yeah.
One thing I still would like to see from the Raptors, I didn't see in this game, the rebounding was even, but they were still out-rebounded in their own end, which is something I don't like to see. They only had 9 offensive rebounds, while the Wizards had 12. That's something we still need to fix. And I still think, as we talked about yesterday, I think they need to get that star center still to really make a push. But they're up to either 5th or 6th in the conference. So.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to wrap this things up. I will say, though, that we received something about the Raptors to keep calling Tampa home for the rest of the season. And on that season, the second half of it will be available later this month, mid-March through mid-May. The playoffs will run from mid-May through mid-July. Straight from NBA. We actually, there were on TSN, just before we went live here, we found out the Arizona Coyotes announced that Steve Sullivan has been removed in his position as assistant GM.
That surprises me.
Yeah, so we'll have more on that when we have more time to look into that, but we want to let you know that we know and we're looking into it. What else do you have before we go back to the news?
I think that's everything, but you really do got to do some news.
Yes, I do.
I know we're having fun here.
Absolutely, always.
Colette will be right back with more news right after this.
The Canadian Council of the Blind has been improving the lives of those with vision loss for over 70 years. With more than 65 chapters across Canada, it is the largest membership-based organization of the blind. People of all ages dealing with vision loss can join and participate in sports and recreation activities, technology training and assistance, peer support groups, and advocacy programs. For more information, visit ccbnational.net or call 1-877-304-0968.
Earlier yesterday, a Royal Canadian Air Force CC-130H Hercules did a low pass with Sault Ste. Marie on its way to the airport. A media relations officer for the Royal Canadian Air Force told Sault Online the aircraft and crew were from the Search and Rescue Wing at CFB Trenton. They were stopping in Sault Ste. Marie to refuel while conducting a training mission. The mission is part of being prepared to go anywhere, anytime, when it comes to a real mission. The officer noted that while on the ground at the airport, all CAF crews remained on board the aircraft and practice proper COVID-19 regulations throughout the mission. The first round of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered in every long-term care home across Ontario to eligible residents who wanted one. This goal was achieved despite repeated delays and reductions of vaccine shipments. To date, more than 62,000 long-term care residents have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, and more than 34,000 residents have received their second dose. According to an OHL insider, the season could start April 2nd to 4th, 2021 in 4 hub cities for the OHL. Athletic reporter Scott Wheeler said in a tweet that the information was in a memo sent out yesterday. There is no word on location of the host cities, how education would work, or if the government has approved this idea at this point. Stay with SiouxOnline.com as we follow the story. Netflix plans to open an office in Canada in what the streaming giant calls a big first step toward content creation in this country. Netflix co-CEO and Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos says that California-based company is still figuring out the office location, but they are thinking of Toronto and Vancouver since the company has so much production happening in both markets. 2 years ago, Netflix announced plans to set up a production hub in Toronto by leasing 2 studio spaces along the downtown industrial waterfront area. Sarandos says adding an office in Canada will allow Netflix executives to be closer to Canadian creators so that they can build relationships and field pitches. He added that Netflix executives will also be able to be more on the ground here and can keep their fingers on the pulse of what's happening in the creative community of Canada. So this morning on our morning show, you said there's a map location was all red under extreme weather alert.
Yeah.
How extreme are we talking?
Well, we're not in the extreme warning here in the Soo, but just north of us, Hayden all the way up, they're in the extreme warning, and wind chills are going to be feeling like minus 40 to minus 45 tonight.
Here?
Not here in the Soo,
okay.
but just north, just north of here. Wawa, those areas under the extreme warning tonight. So very, very cold. Definitely bring your animals in if they're outside tonight. So.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining us on News at Night for Thursday, February 11th. For Craig and Colette, have a great evening.
Do your part to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Cough into your elbow, not into your hand or in the air. Avoid touching your face, eyes, and mouth. Keep your distance from people. Stay at least 6 feet away from others. If you're feeling sick, please just stay home. Do the 5 and keep others alive. Help stop the spread of COVID-19.